Hello and thanks for joining us on Encore. Coming up on today's music show, musicians rally behind a cause as the Black Lives Matter movement goes from the streets to social media.
Show you how the notes
Laid back, stripped back and poignantly personal, Hot Chip's Alexis Taylor releases his solo record, Piano. And we check out the best in live music on our own doorstep as the FNAC Live sets up its summer sessions here in Paris. I'm joined as always by our music critic Mariam Saab. Hi Mariam.
Hello Olivia.
We're starting with something that's been in the news, some activism, some very high-profile musicians getting behind a cause and lending their voices to a political video about the number of black men being killed by police in the US. Mariam, who's involved in this video?
Beyoncé, Lenny Kravitz, Alicia Keys, Bono are just some of the artists recounting the circumstances under which black people have been killed by police. The video is called 23 Ways You Could Be Killed If You Are Black in America. Let's take a look.
Failing to signal a lane change.
Riding in your girlfriend's car with a child in the back.
Run into the bathroom in your own apartment.
Selling cigarettes outside of a corner store.
Riding a commuter train.
Walking home with a friend.
Making eye contact.
Now, the initiative is part of Alicia Keys' We Are Here movement. It's aimed at raising awareness and lobbying Congress for change. It's in response to the recent killings of Philando Castile and Alton Sterling by police. It draws on other victims of racial profiling too, no doubt spurred on by the fact that at least 160 black people have been killed by police so far this year in America, according to Mapping Police Violence. Less than 1 in 3 were suspected of a violent crime or allegedly armed, and black people are 3 times more likely than white people to be killed by police.
Very powerful campaign there. Now we're moving to new releases from the Canadian electro dance duo Mastercraft. We've had radio silence from them for 7 years. Now they're back.
It's about as fierce and futuristic as you can expect. Operator is the name of the record, and it's the duo's first since 2009. It's a far cry from their breakout hit Heartbreaker with guest vocals by John Legend. The song that put them on the charts is Lollipop EDM by comparison. Now, Operator is inspired by a military term, a form of detached engagement called operator culture. In the studio, the Canadian duo say they set the spirit of combat to sound. For that, they did away with their old modular synth collection and drum machines and worked with hardware for the first time, saying they felt more like operators than musicians. Now, the result, as you can hear, is a rampage of sound. Mastercraft are known as the go-to remixers for the likes of Kylie Minogue, Armand Van Helden, Block Party and Katy Perry. Now on Operator, they hone their own sound. Let's take a look at Runaways.
For all the sick in my heart, it's rectified. Lazy, I test us apart.
Now we've got another return after a long hiatus. That's from an early noughties pop punk band, Good Charlotte. They're
Yes.
back.
Good Charlotte are reconnecting with their roots on Youth Authority after a 6-year hiatus. This album is about the highs and lows of life and what they say is the cornerstone of a happy life, which I happen to agree with, a happy wife and family. Let's take a look at Life Can't Get Much Better.
Life can't get much better. Let's just stay together. These scars are tokens of promises broken. Life can't get much better. Let's just stay forever. We've got to hold on. We waited so long.
What do you think, Mariam? Could this be the end of the road for Good Charlotte?
Well, according to the 37-year-old twin frontmen, Benji and Joel Madden, it may very well be the last Good Charlotte record. They say they don't expect to make another one into their 40s. It feels like that. It feels like a final flashback, a throwback album, a new reel full of old highlights. Now, the cover art is actually a collage of posters and signs that the band had made when they were small-timers starting out in Maryland, before social media, before YouTube and Facebook made everything so accessible, back to a time when they recorded on cassettes and they had to go from gig to gig just to build hype. Now, this is a classic Good Charlotte record. Youth Authority is sure to satisfy longtime fans. They're back as punk pop's voice of the underdog, with a little bit of cheek, of course, resurrecting the sound that made them heroes to teen misfits everywhere.
A little bit of nostalgia there from Good Charlotte. Now we're moving to another more mature offering from a musician who opens his new album with a track called I'm Ready. Alexis Taylor's solo album Piano is a stripped-back personal affair. The Hot Chip frontman talked to us about taking a different direction for this record. Mark Thompson has this report.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. Say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it now.
He's best known as a founding member of British indie electro giants Hot Chip. But outside of the group, Alexis Taylor is moving away from their signature party-starting sound.
Show you how the notes could go.
His third solo album focuses on just his voice and a piano, like in this first single, I'm Ready. Alexis says despite taking his music a different direction, he isn't worried about alienating his Hot Chip fans.
I think that there is a playfulness in Hot Chip's music and a kind of sense of fun. I think Hot Chip fans know what they're in for with my solo career by now. They can tell that I operate at a very slow pace.
The album, Piano, is a mix of new and old material, as well as covers including Elvis Presley's Crying in the Chapel, all of them stripped back to their bare elements.
We exist in a time where lots of music is very, very busy, and occasionally people might want some break from the clusters of sound that are so common in music, the kind of full-onness of music.
I could use just a little help. You can't stop
Alexis is inspired by the likes of Bruce Springsteen and Prince. He's also picked up some tricks from a more unlikely source.
even if we're just dancing in the dark.
One of my two cats is called Pudliken, and Pudliken tends to play the piano as a method for getting on top of it in the morning to look out the window. And although he doesn't really, as far as I know, intend to write chord sequences, I try and remember them when he plays because they just sound so nice.
Alexis doesn't have much time to take his new record on the road, though. Instead, he'll be performing alongside his Hot Chip bandmates at over a dozen festivals across Europe and the United States throughout the summer.
Mariam, what do you think of this more lo-fi offering from Alexis Taylor?
I'm a big fan of this record. I've been listening to it all weekend long. It's Alexis Taylor in the flesh, up close and personal. Love it.
Okay. Now we're moving to some much sadder news. A number of summer festivals here in France have been cancelled in the wake of the Nice terror attack, in which more than 80 people died. Mariam, what has been called off since that?
Well, Rihanna cancelled a show in Nice following the attack. She was due to play at the Nice Jazz Festival, which was also cancelled, calling off sets from the likes of Robert Plant, Youssou N'Dour, and a dozen or so more. Now, the French Minister of Culture, Audrey Azoulay, gave the green light for events to go on as planned, saying that now more than ever we must defend the place of culture in our society. Now, the FNAC Live Festival at Hotel de Ville in Paris will go on as planned this week. I'm sure those security will be ramped up. The free event turns out crowds of music lovers to the capital year in and year out. English soul collective Jungle are leading the pack this year, and then there are the usual suspects like Lilywood and The Prick, Fakir and Bashar Mar Khalifa, to name a few. Now, iconic French classical composer and singer William Scheller has pulled out of the festival due to ill health. He'll be replaced by singer Vincent Delerme.
And one of the bands playing at the FNAC Live here in Paris is Hyphen Hyphen. Now, they're originally from Nice, and they were on stage this weekend.
They're definitely a set to catch at the FNAC Festival. The electro quartet are Nice natives, so the Bastille Day attack hit home for the band. Now, to pay homage to the city and the victims, they rallied a crowd of more than 20,000 at the Festival de Veille Charroux in northwestern France over the weekend to chant "Qui ne saute pas n'est pas niçoise." Whoever doesn't jump is not niçoise.
A musical tribute there from Hyphen Hyphen. Thank you very much for being with us this week, Mariam, and thanks to you at home for watching. We'll leave you with Hyphen Hyphen on stage with their musical tribute to their hometown. Remember, you can get more music, arts and culture on our website. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.